really dive deep into that, because the more you get clear with yourself on the answers to those questions, the more clarity you will have about what your next steps should be. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and if you are looking for information, resources, and support on project management, then you have found the right place. This is the channel for you. And if you haven't already, I want to invite you to subscribe. And I also want to ask you to please let me know what questions you have about project management, because as we are moving into 2023, one of my personal resolutions, let's say, is that I want to do more helping of project managers. And in order for me to make sure that I'm talking about the right things on the channel, that I'm asking the right questions here on the channel, is that I get feedback from you. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your questions are, whether you are brand new to project management, maybe you're looking at breaking in, maybe you're looking at transitioning from another career into project management, or maybe you're an experienced project manager and you just have some questions or ideas that you want to bounce off of someone else. Whatever it may be, please send me those comments, those questions. I try to respond to each and every comment that I receive here on the channel. Sometimes it takes me a couple of days, so please be patient with me, but I do try to respond, and when I can, I like to turn them into a video. So I want to say Happy New Year to all of you, and I look forward to hearing from you more in 2023. Okay, on to today's topic. Today we're going to discuss the question, I want to be a project manager, but where do I start? So the reason I want to talk about this is because I'm seeing this question all over the place as I have started to become more active in various project management communities, particularly on LinkedIn, where there are a lot of folks out there who are looking at either breaking into project management or transitioning from another career into project management. There are all kinds of questions around, how do I start? Where do I start? What certifications do I get? What training do I need? What education do I need? Which industry should I go into? What entry-level positions should I target? Which companies should I target? There's all kinds of questions out there. And these are all valid questions. And they're worth exploring. They're worth discovering the answers to all of these questions. But I think sometimes we put the cart before the horse. And there are some basic questions that we need to dive into within ourselves that will help us figure out the answers to some of those more seemingly complex questions around certification and education and industry choice and job title choice and all of that kind of stuff, which absolutely can feel extremely overwhelming as you're out there on the internet and there's all kinds of information. But before you do that, if you are someone who's saying, I want to be a project manager, where do I start? If we were on a phone call together, this would be my advice for you, is I would say sit down with a piece of paper, a notebook, and start thinking about the answers to some of these questions that I'm going to ask you. Start thinking about them really critically and figure out for you personally what the answers are. Turn off all the noise from your family, from your friends, from the internet, from the world. Turn it all off, tune it all out, and just focus on yourself and ask yourself, why do I want to be a project manager? Now, often when I ask that question to people, I say, why do you want to be a project manager? The answers center around job stability, which is great, right? Like we want to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, or finances. Financially, it could be a nice, stable, lucrative sort of a career choice, right? We know that there's stability in project management. I was just reading the other day on PMI.org, which is projectmanagementinstitute.org, that administers the PMP and other certifications out there. I was just reading that, please forgive me if I get this statistic wrong. I'm going to go back and make sure that I'm right here. But I was just reading that by the year 2027, there will be 22 million new project management jobs in the world. And there's actually concern that there will be a deficit of project managers at some point, not enough people getting into the career. So yes, it absolutely is a job that has some longevity. There is some stability. It's a job choice that, a lot of different industries need project managers. So that's a good answer. But what I want you to do is I want you to dive a little deeper into yourself and think about why you want to be a project manager. What are some of the things that appeal to you about being a project manager? Is it working with people, working on teams, building something together, creating? For me, that's a really big one. I love creating and building with other people. I love that collaboration and camaraderie. Ask yourself what you have to offer project management. What do you have to offer your teams? What do you want to give of yourself to this profession? These are questions that we don't usually ask, but they are so important because what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that this is the right career choice for you, because we can choose something because our family thinks it's a good idea, because our friends do, because we see other people successful in it, because it seems like it's a good idea financially. But unless we make a choice that's really true to ourselves and who we want to be, then it's not going to be a choice that really suits us in the long term. So who do you want to be? What type of project manager do you want to be? Why do you want to be a project manager? What do you want to give to project management or to your teams? What do you want to learn from project management or from your teams? Ask yourself these questions and really dive deep into that, because the more you get clear with yourself on the answers to those questions, the more clarity you will have about what your next steps should be when you're thinking about certifications or education or industry choice or which jobs you should target. It's all going to become much more clear if you sit down and you give yourself the time that you need and deserve to figure out who it is that you want to be and why you want to be that person. One of my favorite movies, I tell people this all the time, one of my favorite movies is The Wizard of Oz. And there's a really lovely scene in The Wizard of Oz where Dorothy, who is trying to get home, that's what she wants more than anything. She is trying to get home, but she doesn't know how to get home. Dorothy is there, and Glenda, the Good Witch, appears. And Dorothy's like, I just want to get home, but I don't know where to start. And Glenda, the Good Witch, says, this is one of my favorite movie lines ever. She says, it's always best to start at the beginning. And then you see the yellow brick road and the first brick, and Dorothy steps on the first brick. And of course, we know her journey down the yellow brick road wasn't what she expected, but she welcomed a lot of these challenges, which ultimately created more fulfillment in her life. So it's always best to start at the beginning. Don't think about everything else that's down the road. Start at the beginning. And the beginning is really, who do you want to be? Why do you want to be that? Why do you want to be a project manager? And the more you figure that out, the more of those yellow bricks that will show up along your road, and you will get clarity on what you need to do next. So I hope this is helpful for you and not too fluffy, but I'm telling you, it's going to be life-changing for you if you start to address your project management journey from the inside out. So I wish you the best of luck. As always, let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you next time. Bye.